there, welcome to another episode of Star Wars Minute. It's your daily show where we analyze, we scrutinize, and we celebrate a Star Wars movie 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
And I'm Tony Consiglio from StarWarsMinute.com. Toko.
There you go.
Toko.
You did it.
There's a slash.
Toko slash.
Can-
Everybody do the
it's
Toko
somewhere.
slash.
And that is supposed to take everyone to your merch store where they can get some fun designs.
Yes.
And
All
things,
kinds of goodies.
you know.
Yes.
Well, thanks for continuing to ride out the week with us, Tony. We're here to talk about minutes.
I asked this because of the last time I was on, the last show, but when did the checks arrive?
We're talking about minute 73.
Yeah.
Minute 73 of Solo,
Oh,
a Star
okay.
Wars story. And the minute 73 starts with Quay Tulsite grunting as he pokes Gear in the chin with his tool. And it ends a minute later with Quay Tulsite grunting as he points his tool at a video monitor.
I did not know what those were at first, and it almost looks like like if you go to like a hashish, the bar, the big like bong thing in the middle of the room, and like seven
You mean
people
like a
have
hookah?
tube.
Like a hookah?
Yeah, like a hookah. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like this thing that hook up the part that you smoke.
I don't know what those things are that he is.
Yeah, I guess they're keys. I don't know.
Keys?
Well,
I thought they were keys, but at first I was like, "Oh, is he carrying around the hookah?"
In the official guide, they are described as caretaker code keys are needed to access control systems, prisoner monitoring tech, and mine access hatches. But I don't know why he's like it almost seems like some kind of probe or something that he's like.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish there was subtitles to is he doing like a Jabba the Hutt kind of thing where he's like, you will be pretty in my is he? Why is he doing that? Does he do this to everybody? Give us a call. Let us know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, he knows it's a good outfit, just like the rest of us. He's like, darling, you look fabulous in that outfit.
It does look great for the
Shame
character
about the
to be
double
walking
chins
around.
that he's poking her. In the chin,
It is cool to see him with that big ring just filled with these different metal things that are jangling every time he's walking around.
It's very
I don't know if it's on a
old
big hook, but
I'm going to guess out of all of us here, Pete, you've probably had the most keys on a key ring, being responsible for a retail store. Although, what about you, Tony? You were also you worked at a small business where you had to open the store and stuff.
I did, but it was literally one key was every lock with one key. So that was easy enough. And then those metal awnings go up.
Yeah.
But he has one key for all the locks. So that wasn't too bad.
One key to rule them all.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was a big thing because there was like a tradition of keys because there were, at Forbidden Planet, there were more or less 3 managers at a time.
Always
and
3.
So like the kind of pedigree of your set of keys, you'd had to know like, oh, I got this from John, who got it from, so it was like this is this set of keys versus that set of keys versus, and so mine went to Adam.
Good times.
Yeah.
How many do you remember? How many keys were on your key ring?
No, a lot, but
yeah,
I don't remember.
Well,
How many is a lot? Like more than 10?
Yeah,
10 to 20.
I mean, because you were dealing. Not only were you dealing with keys for doors, but also probably for the glass.
Yeah. Display cabinets.
Container. Yeah, display cabinets, bathrooms.
Yeah. I had the key for the register. I had the key for all kinds of stuff.
Now it's probably all digital thumbprints and.
Right. Now it just scans your eye when you
Lasers.
walk in.
Scans eyes.
Yeah.
Evil, of course.
So this is the first time I'm going to limit my complaint because this is something I can complain about for the whole rest of the week. I really don't like the way the Pikes talk with that.
Right.
Like I feel like every alien of the Disney era talks in that slow and low talk the same way. Come on, like
no,
we
slow and low talks like a hick. Slow.
Oh, did he?
It's just like, well, I saw them on the beach. Like he's just totally. He talks like Gomer Pyle.
There's someone else though who maybe not slow and low.
Oh,
Eloasti.
Eloasti talks like kind of like that.
Talk
right?
with that
Yeah,
kind
right.
of thing. So I would like to hear a high pitched Gorindan style, like insecty kind of voice,
Right,
or something like that. But Anyway, so but luckily L3 is here to translate, and she says that our slaves should follow those guys.
Right.
And have we heard the word guys in Star Wars before? That we can think of.
I'm thinking in the Tashi
like
Station scenes.
Was he telling like
Luke.
freshen up or
Yeah, like come on, you guys. Like he's kind of that, but I don't think.
It's funny. It's funny about a moment like that. The first Star Wars had a moment like that felt weird because it seemed very real world. Like just kind of. And I think it was 3PO when he was like trying to. He was like, "Hey," was he saying "Hey"? What was he saying when
he says "Hey"? Hey.
It's a "Hey" just seemed such a weird thing to hear a robot say.
It does sound weird.
Like,
hey. Like help or a whole
yeah, help. Yeah. Ahoy.
I've got 3 appearances of the word guys in Star Wars the motion picture. One of which
wow.
is the aforementioned cut scene.
Yeah.
So I'll say ship it up, you guys.
Guys, this bickering is pointless.
Right. But do you want to can you see if you can guess the other 2?
Wait, what was the first one?
The first one is Luke saying like, "Shape it up, you guys." Biggs. I didn't know you were you were back. When did you get in? That.
I just want to say all funny ones. Like add the word "guys" to any
anything
in Star Wars.
How about guessing
the
who
Force
says
is what
it?
gives each other his power, guys. Come on.
I imagine Han Solo said "guys" at some point. No,
Han Solo says it both times.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, he seemed like a person that would say "guys."
Yeah, there you go.
In Star Wars.
In Star Wars.
That's funny.
Oh, these guys must really be desperate.
These guys must really be desperate. That's number 3.
Does he say he doesn't say these guys could really save my skin also.
No.
I think he says this could really save my skin. These guys must really be desperate.
Right.
And he says, "I'm not going to wear these guys."
Right, Chewbacca
watch
saying
yourself.
Guys all the
We're
time.
wanted guys.
Right.
I have like the death sentence on like 12 systems.
I like him saying like.
I give up. Where are the other guys? Everyone now at home has had their opportunity to guess. Please tell us when the other time someone says guys.
Immediately before that, almost. We're 17, huh? Okay, you guys got yourselves a ship.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that all of them?
Yeah. That's
then I guess
it
it's appropriate. So this must be where Han Solo learned to use the word guys.
Yeah, he was like, guys. Guys. Guys is a good thing.
That's a good. He used to call it word folks. But that's my
that's
my brother who works in school administration. When I'll say guys, sometimes he'll be like, "You can't say that anymore. You can't call a group of undifferentiated people guys because that's considered,
Wow.
So I say, "What do you say instead?" And he said, "I say folks."
Yeah.
Like, all right, folks, come on, move it or whatever. And I was like, that sounds so school administrator to call people folks.
Let's go, folks.
Empire Strikes Back. One appearance of the word guys, also spoken by Han Solo.
Huh. I think he said, "These guys are crazy."
Well, it's not a system. He's guys.
Like, I love you guys.
Oh, nice. Does he say it to Princess Leia when he's talking about? He doesn't say nice. She doesn't say I like nice guys.
No.
He says nice. Is that in that conversation?
Nope.
He says, "I'll see you guys in hell."
I was gonna say that one.
Well, you
hell,
really?
guys.
I'll see you all in hell, guys.
These guys. Hey.
Is it guys? 2 fighters against a Star Destroyer?
Look, bounty hunters. We don't need these guys.
I am your father. Where in Empire Strikes Back does the word guys appear?
Good morning. Nice of you guys to drop by, says Han Solo.
Cannot speak in a formal manner.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like it does not appear in Return of the Jedi. So that's it. I'll stop there for the classic trilogy.
Yeah. Interesting.
But
it's also interesting that we learned that they're going to be clipped and tagged.
That's what I was going to say. They're going to be tagged and binked. No, I had a question about that too. Tagged, sure.
You're it.
But clipped. Now,
clipped.
Yeah, they're kind of implying like an ice pirate situation. But it seems to me that if you were obtaining some slaves, some creatures to be slaves, that you would want them to be able to reproduce so you could have more of them.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a totally an inhospitable situation for, like, you don't want to have to raise them, so it's easier for you just to obtain adults who can work right off the bat.
Yeah, I think there are certain situations where there are certain sounds so horrible, but throughout history there are situations where you have a slaves who are a breeding population, and then you have slaves who are just like they're just there to work to death. There's no like they don't live in houses or anything. They probably just live in those mines. There's no way they'd be able to raise a child.
Right.
It's possible that the clipping, if it is in fact what we're talking about, that might diminish aggression between slaves. Like if they're kind of neutered, they won't be as inclined to fight. They might not be as inclined to rebel.
I think ahead of time,
and get them clipped and stoned.
I just think ahead of time they knew they had 2 spots in the choir that they needed. They needed a couple of sopranos. Sopranos or what's the other?
What is the other one?
Falsetto.
There's a lot of them, right?
Falsetto. Yeah, there's different ones. Castrati.
Right.
Castrati. Ooh, that name alone sounds like trouble.
I do like her reaction though, where he's like, "What are they clipping?" And she just goes, "Mm-hmm." I thought that was really funny.
Well, because I also do like when I think of like, oh, get them clipped and tagged, and then I picture a scene like, when Dorothy and the gang get to Oz and they're getting like Tin Man's getting polished and like the Cowardly Lion and got to put him in it just for the occasion, like everybody like that. They're getting clipped and tagged that way, and like they're gonna come out all nice and.
That's much more pleasant. I like that Kessel is always throwing surprises at you. Like you think it's gonna be something bad and torturous. No, it's a full makeover and spa. Yeah, now get to work.
Yeah. Oh, no one can ruin my nails.
So here's a question.
I don't know what that accent
was. That's the clip. That's what he got clipped. Their nails. Give them pedicures.
Nails. Oh, and now you want me to dig after you did all that? You're terrible.
Push them down in the dirt immediately after they get
that's what makes it even like more emotionally kind of harmful. That it's just like, see how pretty your nails look? Okay, now dig with them. No shovels.
Oh.
And every day they go back.
Every time they pull them back to do something really nice, like they're doing their hair, it's like, oh no, what are they going to do? They're doing my hair. What are they going to do to me?
They're always like, they never know what's coming. If it's going to be something, every time something good happens, they're like, oh my God, is the food poison? Is the cake poison? There's got to be scissors. Spike in it. What's going on?
The cake is a lie.
The band? Do they have DNA tests? So slavery is obviously legal in the Empire, or we assume slavery is legal in the Empire.
I don't know, because it's not officially legal in the Republic, right?
But I mean,
so it seems weird that this is not that long after.
I have to assume that every evil thing Palpatine is doing it. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't we have slavery? Because we know the Wookiees
because he says do it too. That's his thing.
Yeah, to let
I got an evil thing. Do it. Do it. Yes, evil things. Bring everybody.
He won re-election 6 times on that platform.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something you want to do. Do it. And vote for Palpatine.
Nike just took it from him.
So I was wondering if slavery is legal, if there are like what the sort of bureaucratic. Can you just grab anyone off the street and throw them in chains, or do you have to kind of prove that they're, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because we're going to see that there are humans enslaved in these mines as well. So, but it made me wonder if they do DNA testing in the Empire, because if they theoretically DNA tested a Han Solo, they'd be like, aren't you wanted by the Empire for desertion? But they must not.
But the Pikes wouldn't want that.
I don't know if the reward for returning a deserted soldier would be worth more than however much he would mine out of the.
Yeah, but I don't know if they want to have that kind of transaction with the Empire. I don't know. I don't know what the relationship is with the Empire.
Yeah, we don't know.
Maybe they're prisoners. Maybe they're, instead of jail, they have to go work the mine.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
That would give you a good mix.
Yeah, but it's funny that Chewie and Han are presented as kind of like a sampler. Like, I have a lot of slaves. Here's 2 of them for free.
Here's 2 of the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of,
so the actual slaves, they'll dress kind of like this. They'll look. Will they have
this height and everything?
Right. Can I get this one in green? The hairy one. Can I get that in green?
So then Kira, when she's leaving, she goes over to Han Solo and we'll say she punches him in the stomach. I'm assuming, and not lower down. So then
she clips him.
She clips.
Is that what she did?
And then I guess she hands him the dice.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I was thinking about that too, because it's did she? I guess because that was when we last saw them together, right? She had them.
She handed them.
Yeah. He handed them to her for luck before they went through, right?
So clearly they're good. They're good to be. She's for the next year, next 2 years being sold into
it's like
criminal slavery.
Greg Brady's tiki doll.
That's why she gave him back to him. She's like, these were not that. Well, a couple of things about that are noteworthy. She kept them.
Yeah,
which
this
seems
whole time
to fly in the face of her being like, you know what, Han, we were kind of a thing back then, but now we're not. But the fact that she held on to them and had them with her when she bumped into him seems to be like an incredible thing.
I think she probably kept them for, a while.
Mm-hmm.
She held on to them as a reminder of her previous life and, had them kind of, mixed in with her stuff. And then once they didn't just like leave, they didn't just happen to run into each other and then immediately take off. Like she had time to pack some stuff and get ready and change.
So you think she had them with her on the, whatever Dryden Voss's apartment?
On the yacht. Yeah. I'm assuming she lives there, right?
That's their full-time home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wherever she was going, she had the bulk of her stuff with her. And so she went back to change and she was like, oh, you know what? I'll take these. So I'm going back and looking for the exchange of when he hands them over.
Before they get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and also,
it was in minute 11. So
minute 11.
She's had them for 62 minutes. That's a long time.
She held on for a while.
So, but that's also interesting because she waited until now to give them to him. She didn't go like, "Oh my gosh, I have something to show you in my apartment. Let me show you. Let me show you what I have."
Right.
Or as soon as they got in the Falcon, or it's funny that she kept them until now.
It's
also,
very
why
possible
give them to him now?
She had him on the inside pocket of her cape. You know how you forget money and stuff inside jackets you don't wear for a while. Right. So she was like, "Oh, there they are. Perfect timing."
That would be so funny because then Han would be like, "Oh, she kept those this whole time," and she totally forgot she even had them.
Forgot.
She's just like,
she didn't even know they were his. She was just like, "Here, hold these."
She's like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna give him back to him now."
This might be the last time I see him. So, because she was actually going to sell him into slavery at that point.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That
was like kissing him like goodbye. She's like, "Here you go. Take these back. Curse is yours now.
Now it's your turn to get sold into slavery."
Yeah. Because that's ironically in or coincidentally or but perhaps it's all a big, it's all intentionally. That in that minute 11 when she gets handed the dice, he's like, "Hey, we're gonna do it," and she's like, "Yeah, but we could get captured or sold to the Crimson Dawn," and he's like, "That's not gonna happen," and that's when he gives her the dice, and so then it does end up happening, and so she's like, "Hey, remember you said that wasn't gonna happen? She should have just thrown the dice in his face."
Yeah, it's a strange moment to give it to him, I guess, because it seems like the kind of thing almost like when K2SO does a similar thing where he tries to pretend that Cassian is his prisoner. He like slaps him, You remember that? And that's
right.
funny.
Well, that's
scene
built up because I'm sure he wants to. He's been wanting to do that. Maybe it's a little bit of the same here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess you're right
too. But in that case, he's really trying to. I guess she's also. It seems weird that she's going out of her way to try to convince the Pikes that she really has no affection for these guys. Like she has to prove that they're slaves by punching them in front of the Pikes. Like, see, we're not friends. Why would I do that to my friend if we were planning something?
She should have announced that afterwards. She said, "I punched him because he's a jerk."
Right? Yeah. He likes it when you do that. You should do that to him more. Like,
Yeah, perfect.
In fact, we nicknamed this one Punchy because we'd punch him all the time. So. It's fun. Try it. She's like encouraging everybody. Come here. It's all sight.
Put down those keys for a second. Don't fight.
No, better yet, hold the keys. Hold the keys. Just wrap your hands around the keys.
Ooh.
Well, one thing also, we get our first look at some of the droids who are prisoners here.
Oh yeah, I had a question. Well, I had a question about one for tomorrow, but
we want to save it for tomorrow.
No, because I don't.
Let's call attention to the one we see here, which is a kind of teal. I guess I'll call it like a new style astromech droid.
Okay.
It's that kind of like bluish green one. The solo book, the guide here has a bunch of new like astromech droids that don't look like any astromech droids we've seen before. It's almost like the Betamax version of like they were trying a new version and it never received wide release. And they're just, hey, you know what? Just sell them into slavery and we'll just let them wear them right now. But
I love that the Gong droid comes out of a Gong droid hole in the wall. In this minute,
like a cartoon character.
Yeah, it does. He just comes through the hole that's made shaped exactly like him.
Well, I do.
In there, go.
The droids and the control panels, I think, do a good job of looking like they came from slightly before,
like NASA in 1969.
Yeah, that's
what it looks like.
That's the thing that they were going for. They're like, all right, well, that like. If Star Wars happens in 77 and this is, like maybe like 10 years before that, this is like late 60s. So like, let's try to make stuff look kind of like late 60s tech. And so the stuff is like,
pretty funny.
The droids look a little bit like droids your grandma would have. And the control panels look like everything looks a little bit earlier than the kind of in between the 50s kind of deco look of the prequels and the 70s look of Star Wars. That was
I guess
Rebels did
look. Well, I guess Rebels looked a lot like not Rebels. Rogue One looked a lot. That was set right before Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see something set like in 1970. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we get the hippie version of the
long hair.
Tarkin is like Tarkin with big sideburns and a
macrame droids.
Shag carpeting. Some of the droid gets caught in it, gets stuck in it.
They're pet rocks.
Then they go past the rug.
Right.
And they're leaded gasoline. Speaking of which.
Oh.
Well, that is all I have for minute number 73.
Yeah. That's
me too.
Pretty much all I had.
Tony, do you remember the first time you saw the Han Solo movie? Did you see it in the theater?
I did see it in the theater, yes. I think I don't remember. I saw it maybe the weekend of, something like that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. It was a little on the dark side, I remember.
Thematically.
I mean, like physically.
Right,
or visually, which made it moody, which I've reached the age now where movies like that, I fall asleep, sadly. Yeah. So, I missed the whole Castle Run.
Well, now you get to go back and cover it.
That's true. But yeah, I remember seeing it in the theater, but I remember.
Was it full? Do you remember that? Do you remember how many people was it?
No, actually, it wasn't full because I went like on a Saturday morning.
Do you remember where you saw it?
What year was it?
2018.
Oh yeah, I was here in Arizona. I probably went to the theater down the street from me. On Saturdays, it was $1.50.
Yeah. I like when people say the specific theaters because I can imagine someone else being like, "Oh my god, that's where I saw it."
Right.
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. Regal? Maybe it was called Regal Theater.
Yeah, I guess they're all nice. They're all.
You saw it at the Regal Beagle.
The Regal Beagle, exactly. Movie night.
Well, all right. I guess that will wrap up minute number 73. And just a reminder for those of you listening to the podcast, you can also watch the show on YouTube. Go to StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube. And there you can get include some visual flavor to the whole thing. And if you're someone who watches us on YouTube, did you know you can also get a mobile version listening via podcast? Go to wherever you find podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and all that kind of stuff. See, we're all laughing now because Pete was just doing a visual gag that those of you just listening aren't getting it. You're missing out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have a question. I couldn't download the Venmo app. Can you guys help me with that? I know it's has nothing to do with you guys, but if you guys,
we put the droids. We gave that to the droids also. They were in charge of payroll.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out.
If you have to add the thing and then make a request through that system, and then they'll text you back.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll ask someone. I think my neighbor
is a droid.
Is a droid.
I love the idea that you don't know how to download an app to your phone, so you go and ask your neighbor how to do it. Right. You imagine you show up at your door,
like over the fence.
How to work my phone.
Not even at the door, just over the fence. Like, hey, hey.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Home Improvement style.
Right, yeah.
What was that guy's name? Phil?
Wilson, right?
Wilson.
Philip Hill.
Phil Silvers. All right, we'll see you tomorrow on another Star Wars Minute.
Another Star Wars Minute.